Hi everybody. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Today we are on to our next lesson. Our objective for today now is to find the volume of a pyramid. So we're continuing through this series of lessons on volume. Last week we talked about finding the volume of a cylinder. We talked about finding the volume of a prism. I think maybe we also did the volume of a cone. Okay, today we are doing the volume of a pyramid. Okay, can't actually remember what all we've done already or not, but eventually we'll get to those if we haven't already. Okay, so today we are finding the volume of a pyramid. Okay, now I am going to have you write down this formula. Now there's actually a couple of formulas for the volume of a pyramid. I'm going to have you write down a couple of them because really the volume of a pyramid could change depending on what shape the base is. Okay, so basically the general formula is this one right here, right? So the volume equals 1/3 the area of the base times the height. This capital B right here represents the area of the base, and that's the reason why this formula could change based on what shape the base is, right? So if you have a square or a rectangular pyramid, this right here is the formula you want to use. Volume equals 1/3 length times width times height, right? If you have a square or a rectangle, remember how to find the area of a rectangle? Well, it's the area of the length times the width. Okay, you take the side, this side times that side. Okay, now what if the base is a triangle? Okay, now to find the area of the triangle, you can't just do length times width. Okay, if it's a triangular pyramid, so instead of that, maybe it's like this, right? Where you go up like that, and then up like that, and then up like that, right? Here you have a triangular pyramid, this thing right here, that's a triangle as a base. Okay. Now you have to use a different formula. So make sure in your notes you mark that this is for a rectangular pyramid, and then for a triangular pyramid, you're going to want to use something similar. It's going to be volume equals 1/3, but then for the base part, you're going to do 1/2 length times width. So 1/2 length times width, and then take that times the height. So it's 1/3 times 1/2 length times width times the height. Okay? All right, now you will have, on your homework assignment, you will have both rectangular and square ones, and you will have triangular ones as well. So you need to make sure you have these formulas written down so that you know how to calculate each. All right. First, it says find the volume of each pyramid. So we can see this is what type of a pyramid, what's the shape of the base. We want to look at the lengths of the sides. There's 6 inches here and 6 inches here, which means the sides of the base are all the same length, which means that this is a square pyramid, right? So the base part here is going to be, we're going to change it to volume equals 1/3 length times width. Base is getting replaced with length times width, and then that times the height. Okay, so I'm going to plug in 1/3. What's our length here? That's 6. 1/3 times 6 times 6, and then times our height. That's this going up. That's 8. So 1/3 times 6 times 6 times 8. Okay, so we're going to come over here. We're going to open up Desmos. And we're going to do 1/3 times 6 times 6 times 8. And we get a volume of 96. And now we need to remember that we're going to label it. Our label, we've got inches here. And it's not square inches. Remember, square inches is area, or volume. Volume is cubic units. Okay, so our volume here is 96 inches cubed. Okay, example or part B here. Again, it says find the volume of each pyramid. Okay, what's the shape of our base? Here's our base right here. It's got a side length of 10 and 15. Since they're not equal, that means it's a rectangular pyramid. Okay, we still use the same formula as if it was a square though, so it's going to be 1/3. Our base is going to change to length times width, and then we take that times the height. Okay, so we're going to plug this in. 1/3. Our length, we can say, is 10, and it doesn't really matter if you make your length 10 or 15 as long as you use the other one for your width. Your width then we'll say is 15. Our height then right here is 12. Okay, so we're going to come back over to Desmos, plug in. We can just go back in here actually and change our values from in the last one we just did. So 10, 15, and 12. And you can see we get 600 is our volume. 600. And we look here, it's centimeters cubed. Okay, that's our volume. All right, I want you to go ahead and try and do 4 and 5 on your own. See if you can do this on your own piece of paper, figure it out, and then I'll go through both these with you here in just a second. All right, hopefully you pause these. Again, both of these are, so this one's a rectangle, this one's a square, so we're going to use 1/3 length times width times height. Okay, so 1/3 times the length here is 36 times the width is 30 times the height is 40. So we're going to plug that in. 1/3 times 36 times 30 times 40. And we can see we get a volume of 14,400. Okay, and now our label is millimeters cubed. Okay. This one, length times width times height, so 1/3 times length times width, and then our height is 4. Okay, so it's going to be 1/3 times 3 times 3 times 4 times 3 times 3 times 4. And we get a volume of 12, and that's going to be inches cubed. Okay. All right. Let me think if I want to go over another one. Let's say we have, I'm going to do an example here before you start on your assignment. Let's say we have a triangular pyramid, because I do want to give you one of those examples. Okay. Let's say we have a length here of 4, a height of 5, and then let's say that this side length is, I don't know, 2. Okay. Here we want to use 1/3 times, now we want to use our triangular base, so it's going to be 1/2 length times width, and then we take that times the height. So we're going to do 1/3 times 1/2 times our length, we can say that's 4, we can say our width is 2, and then times our height of 5. Now we can plug that in, so we're going to do 1/3 times 1/2 times 4 times 2 times 5, and we get a volume of about 6.7, approximately 6.7, and that'd be units, whatever your units are, cubed. Okay, so it's just a matter of using the correct formula. You are going to see both triangular bases and square/rectangular bases in your assignment. Okay, so your homework then is on Edulastic. It's the 13.A8 homework, the volume of the pyramids. Also remember, today at 1 p.m. will be your live Q&A on Canvas. If you have any questions over this assignment or any other assignment we've done in the past, feel free to come on by and I'm happy to help you. Okay, I will see you guys later. Bye.